Welcome back for realsies, the retro reviews with your host Tyler Hodder. It's been a month since I did the WrestleMania 20 review on this secondary channel, and this channel had to get me to be on a break, but it's back. We're back in business with this channel, and here it is, the long-awaited Lockdown 2006 review. And this cover is kind of similar to the Final Resolution cover, but the only difference is Sting is holding the bat on his right there, and there's cages around it. I think the Final Resolution one was a bunch of Stings surrounding it, and he's pointing the baseball bat. That's the only difference. So, but regardless, this is a damn good show. And yeah, it's been a while since I talked about TNA, old school TNA pay-per-views on here. I mean, I did the Turning Point 2005 review back in December. But we're going to do this again. Doing our TNA pay-per-view again. I'm going to... we'll talk about it. So, yeah. April 26th in the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. This was before the following year they went to St. Louis. 2007. You know that one. The Electrified. We'll say that for a future video review on that one. So this show's main event is Stinger's Warriors versus Jarrett's Army. Let me check. Oh, they didn't say it on the back, but I think it is. Let me check. Yeah, I think it is. Regardless, so yeah, let's get on to it. So basically every match is basically the steel cage environment. So I'm not gonna say it except for a few exceptions. But let's talk about the pay-per-view. Okay, we start out with the Team Japan of Black Tiger, Tanaka, and Hikaru defeat Team USA of Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Alex Shelley. This was just a preview of the Super X Cup tournament that's going to happen after this pay-per-view, I believe. Yeah, after this. Where, Kevin Nash come back by then. I believe it was right afterwards. Oh, I just turned off my phone. Trial and error. But anyways. It was a fun X Division match. Yeah, fun match. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'll give it. Again, I forget what I gave these matches in the original review, but we're gonna do this again. But anyways, then we get now at Destination X 2006, which I will redo that probably later this year. Daniels won the X Division Championship, and then he immediately lost it to Samoa Joe for his match with Sabu, which we'll get to that. Here he loses to Senshi, who was low key, and it was a fine match. I give it a 6 out of 10. 7 out of 10, actually. No. This is a 7 out of 10, okay. And then next up we get this arm wrestling challenge, which this whole thing started at Turning Point with Conan turning on BG James and Keith James, and then Ron Killings was basically out of this picture, and the James Gang were reunited, and Bullet Bob was in this, and then Conan debuts LAX, and basically, yeah. And then this arm wrestling thing, Bob Armstrong defeats Conan. This was not a match, okay? And afterwards, they all get whipped. They all get whipped, basically. This was not a match, really. It's just a segment, basically. So that's all I have to say about it. Not a match, okay? Don't do it this... I hate when they do this in wrestling. Um, then we get the escape match. Chris Sabin defeats Elo Skipper, P. Williams, and or Chase Stevens, Shark Boy, and Puma. Uh, it's a what this is it's you have to eliminate until the last two are in. You have to eliminate most of these guys until the final two, where you have to get out of the cage. They do this a lot, really, with these pinfall matches. Like King of the Mountain, you have to pin somebody, and then you have to get eligible to the title, and then grab the hook and a reverse ladder match, basically. And the gauntlet for the goal is basically like a Royal Rumble type match where a lot of wrestlers come in when the final two is pinfall and submission. Like, they always do this. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be different. And yeah. 6.5 I'll give it. It was okay. And then we get for now. I said this before. If I ever do Destination X, spoiler alert, it will happen probably later this year. Maybe I'm not gonna say it, okay? Samoa Joe lost the X Division Championship. Then at Lockdown, he's going to face Sabu, but on the Go Home Impact before this, Samoa Joe won back the X Division Championship, and now this match is for the X Division Championship. Samoa Joe defeats Sabu to retain the X Division Championship. Kind of interesting to see Sabu in an X Division match, but this match was only 6 minutes, but it was pretty fun for 6 minutes. So, this will be Sabu's last match in TNA until, oh Jesus Christ, 2010. I mentioned already. Move on from it. Because Sabu will go to WWE to do, oh Jesus Christ, oh God, the ECW reboot. If you know, you know. But fun match. Could have been a little longer, but Sabu was dealing with an injury. Yeah, a 7 out of 10 I'll give it. Then we get this match. This is basically a anthem match where the winner will retrieve their own flag. But it's basically a flag match. I don't know why they just call it a flag match, okay? Team 3D of the Brother Ray, Brother Devon, and Brother One, aka Spike Dudley, defeats Team Can of Bobby Roode, Aragon, and A1. Let me hear about that guy. In a okay match, this feud started. Well, they were part of. Team Can was part of Jeff Jarrett's Plant Jarrett group, where, you know, at Final Resolution, Team 3 got screwed over for the tag house. They had the match against the Odds, where Team 3 won that, and then it was kind of the weakest match of the night, honestly. We get a 3 out of 10, I'll give it. You know, Team 3D won the match, and they feuded with the James Gang for what reason? And they didn't win the tag house until the following year at Lockdown, ironically, in the the electrified cage match. The less I said about that, the better. Because I do not want to talk about that match again. But at some point, I gotta have to. Before the next match, during this whole show, Larry Zbyszko was trying to find out who's signed to TNA, which we found out it was Raven, who returned to TNA because he lost that Final Resolution, and yeah, what was the point of that? And this freaking never-ending feud finally ended at Victory Road. Let me. And also, yeah, Christy Hemme also made her debut also. But yeah. And now we get to the last two matches of the night. For the NWA / TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Christian won the title against a loss from Jeff Jarrett. And then he beat, again, sooner or later I will talk about if I ever do Destination XL6, which I will. I will. And now here, he defeated Monty Brown, of course. Then he went into the feud with Abyss, where they did the whole thing where Abyss attacked Christian in his home and threw him into the swimming pool. And James Mitchell said you can't win the title from a dead guy, basically. And also that they were doing the whole thing with the... Well, anyways. Christian Cage defeats Abyss to retain the world title. In a pretty fun match. Of course, there were the thumbtacks involved because you can't have a Abyss match when there's no rules. Do not include thumbtacks. The finish was Christian Unpretty's Abyss into the thumbtacks. It was kind of similar to when Triple H pedigree Cactus Jack into the thumbtacks at Royal Rumble 2000. Next January, I will mention Royal Rumble 2000. Spoiler alert for that. This was a fun match. 8 out of 10. And then afterwards, Abyss attacks Christian with James Mitchell gives Abyss the world title even though he didn't win it. ... When I talk about Genesis 2006. Again, on this channel at least. So yeah. And then the main event, the Lethal Lockdown match. It's basically War Games, except it's one ring and a steel cage. I know what this is, okay. Stinger's Warriors of Sting, AJ Styles, Ron Killings, and Rhino defeat Jeff Jarrett's Army. A wild slapnuts appears. Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, and America's Most Wanted. This storyline began at Turning Point. Jarrett getting these messages of Sting coming in, and Jarrett forming an army, final resolution. It was supposed to be Sting's last match. Cough, cough, cough. He recently retired last month. Then the whole puppet rock. Alex Shelley was doing is carrying Sting there until one instance where Sting said, turn that camera off. Turn it off! And then Destination X, he said, again, whenever I talk about it, we saw the debut of Scott Steiner on that show, and this led to Lethal Lockdown here. And this is a really good Lethal Lockdown match. It started out with AJ Styles and I think Chris Harris, yeah. And then James Storm came out next. Then Rhino came next. Then Jarrett came next, which is kind of weird. But I get Scott Steiner, his first match in TNA. I get it. Then Ron Killings. This was before he became a funny natural treasure. Yeah. And then Scott Steiner came in. And then Sting was the last man to come out. And then the roof comes down. The last lockdown did not include the roof, but here they did have the roof. The spot of the match was AJ Styles climbing the ladder and monkey bars the ceiling. The splash, I want to say was Chris Harris or James Storm. No, James Storm. Sting got the submission victory on Chris Harris, and there's that. Now this feud did not end until Bound for Glory. If I ever get to it, probably October, because, that's how it is. Regardless of that, very good Lethal Lockdown match. 8.5 out of 10 I'll give it. So, you can tell why TNA in 2006 was so fun to watch until Hogan came in. Regardless, still a pretty enjoyable event. A 7.7 out of 10 I give it. Again, I forgot what I originally gave this. Sorry, it's been a long time since I watched my older videos, but honestly, you should watch these remastered ones because, yeah. Next week, we're going back to the year 2004. The post-WrestleMania show and Raw's brand exclusive pay-per-view and a rematch from WrestleMania 20 with Benoit, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels with Backlash. Backlash is a month away, so we're going to talk about Backlash 2004. Finally, I'm going to talk about this show. Finally. Regardless of that, up next week, it'll be Backlash 2004. So anyways, like this video, comment down below, subscribe to this channel right here, and click the notification bell. And also, tomorrow on my main channel, SmackDown Review. And then Saturday, I will do the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And then the biggest event, Sunday also, Night of Glory. Bye.